So I recently purchased some different clear base, and I wanted to talk about my reasoning behind it and what I've been using. So the clear shape that I've used in the past would either be one of these two. I've been using this one a lot, this International Coatings. So just take a look at the consistency of it. It's still pretty thick, it's got more fluidity than perhaps your average plastisol, but still relatively thick. Still definitely a chunky ink, and this stuff, basically the same deal, where it is not as thick as a lot of the plastisol inks, but definitely has some thickness. So what I've been running into is when I add my pigment powder, that dried powder thickens that up further. And while I am able to get a good consistency, I do find myself rubbing up against this wall of something that's too thick and too viscous and tacky to the point where it's going to have trouble passing through the screen. I rub up right up on that, and I still kind of wish I could get more pigment in there. That's the thing about charcoal. There's not a lot of, I guess, what's called coverage. So it's color fast, doesn't fade, but you need a lot of it. So here's what I've got instead, and see if we can get this in the light at all, but that is much more like a liquid. So my hope is I'm gonna add some charcoal powder to that, whole bunch, because we got to add a bunch, and I should be able to get a much darker product, is the hope. So I will have to do a bunch of testing. I'm going to have to print the shirt and wash it a bunch, because the thing I've been doing up until this point is printing on a base of regular plastisol. So I feel like that has been a bit of a, I don't know, safety net in terms of bonding to the fabric. I already have a base of regular plastisol bonding to the shirt, and then the charcoal ink will go on top of that. So far it's performed great. It hasn't faded away or seems to have adhered to the ink that's already there. What I'm going to be doing is laying a fresh mixture of this charcoal pigment ink straight onto the shirt. So I got to make sure I'm not, I don't know, messing up proportions or pushing it too far to the point where it doesn't adhere to the shirt. I think it'll be okay, but I've been having to go through a bit of a process here in terms of I got to find a bit of a better clear base that'll let me add more pigment. So I finally found that. I was working on the screens for a while. They did not come out the way I wanted them to the first or really even second time. So I redid the screens a couple times, trying to be real fussy about this. So I've got everything in place now. I also had to make more Tillamook pigment. That took a while. But yeah, all the pieces are in place now. I think I do have a lot of printing to do today. I might have to get this tomorrow because I want to really focus on it and spend some time on it. But next step, test printing the new clear base with the new process of a single color charcoal print. And I think if I can nail that, that'll be one that'll be much easier to produce, and I'll be able to have a lot more versions of it. And I'm really looking forward to how it could flesh out the booth. I think it's what the booth needed. So I don't know, this is all precursor. Hopefully you'll be able to see the shirt and all that soon. But here's where it starts with experimenting with the different kinds of clear bases, and I'm really hopeful for this thinner clear base. I think that's going to hit the mark. So I'll let you know how the rest goes. But right now it's all an idea. I have no idea. Ooh. All right, I'll update soon.